But anyway, Martin, it finally happened.
I know, yeah.
I got injured enough that we're starting a podcast.
Yeah, yeah, that's really true. I think that's like motivation for you, like a bit of kick in the ass to start doing it.
Yeah. A twist of the knee is a kick in the ass. So, but yeah, getting the podcast started. The Bad Jiu-jitsu Podcast. We went through a couple of name choices, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. To be honest,
it's going to be a bad podcast. If our jiu-jitsu is going to be matched perfectly with a podcast, it's going to be awful. It's going to be a bit spazzy, and we're just going to get on with it though, aren't we? So. Yeah, I'll start. I'm Sean. I'm 41. I'm a jiu-jitsu white belt for 2 years now, and a trainer at Henshall BJJ in Manchester. Not very good at jiu-jitsu. I generally just sit down, let people jump on me, and then because I'm a big guy, roll them over and then just twist an arm. You?
Well, I'm Martinez, and basically I trained jiu-jitsu for how long? It's 1 year been now. So I've been training at same and at Henshall's, and it's been 1 year. And to be honest, comparing to others, I don't know much jiu-jitsu. But when the newcomers come in, feels like I can do a bit more.
When the newcomers come in, everyone loves it.
Yeah,
it's the only time to be happy to be a white belt.
Yeah, it's like I can sweep them, escape, but I still can't submit them.
You just bend something backwards. That's all that submission is.
That's what I started doing it.
But so question to you.
Right.
Why did you choose the gym we chose?
So basically it was like very straightforward. It was like closest to my place.
Yeah.
I just put on, because I tried maybe like 8 years ago. I went for maybe a month, so maybe like 2-3 times a week of jiu-jitsu when I was living in Vidnes.
Yeah.
So that was the place is still open. It's called Combat NGT, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you ever heard or no. So basically, I really liked it, but then my job changed. I started traveling everywhere in the UK. And when I settled here in Manchester, I wanted to find where to go.
Yeah.
And basically, I just Googled it, and Henshall's was the first one.
Yeah.
So I just texted to Steve and said, "Can I come in?" And he's like, "Yeah, just come in and start rolling."
Do you want to know why that was the first one that popped up?
No.
Because Steve's been really, really clever, and what he's done is he has his website down as Manchester Jiu-Jitsu. So if you search Manchester Jiu-Jitsu, his is the first one that pops up.
Oh, right.
So he's played the algorithm really well there.
Plus in this area, this is like a closest one.
Yeah.
Just around the corner, there's karate club, but I don't like hitting people.
No, I'm not a fan of being hit. So that's probably why I chose Jiu-Jitsu as opposed to
I tried
else.
MMA. To be honest, what me and my wife, what we did, we went literally when we lived in Vidnes, we decided for 6 months we wanted to try everything. And in order to do that, you have to go online and fill...
This conversation can go really well. I want to try everything, but you can go online. As a married couple, that can go in 2 different directions.
No. No, we wanted to try every single martial art to see which one we like. So that's why. I know what you mean. I know where you're going with. But basically, we went for about 6 months. We were visiting every single like martial arts schools, dojos, everything, because first lesson is free.
Yeah. So that's how you learn MMA. Just train everywhere, free first time.
Yeah, we haven't paid anyway. We just went and try it just to see if you like it, we went to like wrestling class in Warrington.
Yeah.
I got to wrestle with like 140 kilo guy, and it's like, dude, I can't
Big
really
guy.
I can't really do anything to him. Wrestling.
Yeah, but some of them wrestlers though, even with the little ones, you can't do anything to them. They're like little monkeys.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like you roll with Lewis at our place and he like wrestle with him, and he's just around your legs and you're on your floor and he's pinning you without any chance.
And then a couple of days later we tried MMA, yeah.
Yeah.
And the same guy came in. Apparently he was doing MMA as well, and my missus tried to spar with him, and she's like, "Really?"
At 100, I've seen your missus. She isn't the tallest lady on the planet, and at 140 kilograms, that guy's got to be a big tall guy or a big wide guy. So
Yeah. So she wanted to like kick him in the balls. That's it.
if it works, isn't it?
Sweep.
Yeah, it's a sweep. It takes him to the ground. Yeah, it's a sweep. Yeah.
It's like I've seen it yesterday. Is passing guard. You do karate chop in the balls and the.
It's a legit move, isn't it? So it's encouraged. But yeah, so for me, jiu-jitsu, choosing our gym,
Yeah.
it was, I went online like yourself to find which jiu-jitsu I want to do.
Yeah.
And my choice was equal distance. I had Henshall's on one side and I had a Gracie University Academy thing on the other side.
Oh.
And it was a little bit of research, and I found the Gracie Academy was a bit too much cookie cutter. It was very much a franchise, dealing with the set menu type idea of jiu-jitsu, where I'm a bit more of a backyard wrestling type of guy.
Yeah.
And when I went to Henshall's first session there, I was hooked.
About Gracies, for me, I thought that they're just too expensive.
They do charge a lot, and then you've got that thing with the uniforms that they always have where there's no freedom there. And I'm a bit of a fruity guy when it comes to what I wear. I wear bright things. I've come in with like, I think a Magikarp rash guard on.
You got that gi which comes in like a rainbow.
Oh yeah, the tie-dye gi, yeah. That won't be allowed at Gracie.
There you go.
Yeah, so I think, I really did find my people at our club.
Yeah.
I think you did as well.
Yeah.
Because, we just bounce around there and we just, bit of two morons struggling to do jiu-jitsu while we're there. So
For me, it's just fun. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just having fun, literally. And before even joining here, my missus started saying to me, because I just work home, and she started saying I needed to find some sort of like more like atmosphere where it's like based more men.
Yeah.
Not related to work, like where you like you can like go like literally have fun.
Yeah, to socialize with
Yeah.
guys out there.
So this is how it works for me.
Well, if you've been traveling a lot as well, just to actually be able to settle down, make friends, and have some sort of social life which isn't just based around your work, that's always going to be a positive for you.
Yeah.
Especially your mental health as well.
Yeah.
Where you've got a group of people that you can just hang out with and chat with, and
That's
away from home sometimes.
And it leads to podcast.
Yeah. Oh dear, it leads to podcasts. So I think so that's why you're doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
This is why you've chosen the gym we're at, our club that we're at, and for all our sins, it's a mental place, but it's probably the best place for us. What do you enjoy most about jiu-jitsu?
What I enjoy most?
Yeah. I think you touched upon it back there with the social aspects and just having
Well, for me, I'm usually like a big kid, so I'm always like doing.
No, you're not. No, really.
Yeah. So for me in there, it's like a playground.
Yeah.
And everyone's like similar like me.
You really do laugh a lot. I think on the podcast profile we can put a link to things, and we'll just put we'll link to your video channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you're giggling, you're laughing, and you are the most cheerful person on that mat. And I think everyone spots that out. And the fact that you got a Joker tattoo on your hand just to
I know. Yeah.
to represent your gleeful nature is very appropriate.
I think yesterday someone asked me when we rolled, it's like, how do you have so much time to talk, when we're rolling and do something, it's like I'm barely keep up with breathing.
Yeah, I'm a talker as well. I sometimes sing. The playlist at Henshall's, sometimes I can't help but sing at the songs.
My biggest issue when I'm rolling, I count when I sweep. So let's say I grab the arm, I wrap the leg, I pull person closer to me, and I count loudly 1, 2, 3, and then I try to sweep, and the person on me is like, dude, I know when you're gonna sweep me.
Top tip for that, what you'll notice against some big guys, is they might not count out loud, but you'll notice certain behaviours. So the big guys, especially ones that go to the gym,
Yeah.
and they do the weightlifting, you'll find that they'll breathe in a brace. So when, like, if you're doing a heavy squat or a heavy deadlift, you'll breathe in, brace, and then you do the move. And what they'll do is, when they're about to sweep you or go for a big push on a move, they'll breathe in, brace, and then move. So if you're feeling someone else's breathing,
Or they hold the breath.
Yeah, that's the brace. That's holding the breath.
Right.
So it makes them feel more solid and stronger. And if you're rolling with a big guy and you suddenly don't hear them breathing anymore, because big guys pant, because they're big guys, they need a lot of oxygen. Once they do that brace,
Yeah, now you mentioned it, I've noticed they stop the breathing before the sweep comes in.
it's a natural reaction. And I think it's something that you lose as you develop more jiu-jitsu, where you can actually control your breathing more, and the movements are more natural, and you realise you don't need the strength to do it. I think you just need the good technique to do it.
Yeah.
But the big guys, especially the newer big guys, when they hold their breath, expect something, because they're going to move.
Either submission, either sweeping. I've noticed.
Yeah, if they're going to do a big move, a powerful move, they'll hold that breath for that split second just before they do it. And that's your time to react to it preemptively, if you can do it. So
I've noticed on Wednesday when I rolled, your dad was doing that to me. Because he was breathing, and then for a minute it stopped and he swept me.
yeah, Gally does that. My dad does that. Just to put it out there for anyone who is actually listening, the guy we're referring to isn't my actual dad. He lived near my mum and used to actually telling me about jiu-jitsu, telling me to my mum about the stuff I did to him in jiu-jitsu. So I call him dad just to take the piss, because he has a better relationship with my mum than I do. So
I call him Sean's dad.
Yeah. And when he brings his son in, it's like, there's my cousin, there's my brother.
Actually, on the kids class, he's got grandson who's training as well.
So my nephew then.
Yeah, there you go.
But honestly, it's like, so.
So what keeps you happy? What makes you happy?
I'm a big nerd, and for me, when I'm at jiu-jitsu, it's the skill acquisition. Mm-hmm. I love learning new things, and I love problem solving as well.
Right.
So one of the things that I like to do is I see all rolls as a problem, and quite often when I'm rolling with people, I might actually work to get into a position where I was having a hard time last time.
Right, yeah.
So I can work that problem. Mm-hmm. So I'm turning a couple of different roles with the same person.
Like a puzzle solver.
Yeah, I like to problem solve. So if I'm working on a specific problem, I can roll with someone 5 times. And for them, it might be 5 individual roles. But because I'm working on this one problem that I'm trying to figure out,
right,
I might have just one big role effectively in my head.
Right.
Because I'm dealing with this one problem at a time. And I think, for me, it probably contributes to my bad jiu-jitsu, because I'm focusing on very specific things to solve before I move on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. But that's just my nature. I'm a very analytical type of person. I like to strategize, and I just like to really deal with that problem, fix that problem, and then go on to the next problem.
Yeah, I was thinking when I'm rolling, I don't think at all.
I think too much sometimes. Especially when I first started, I had paralysis by analysis.
Oh,
so,
I know what you mean.
You get in top control, you get mount on someone, and you don't know what to do.
Oh, I'm still there. I still don't know what to do.
And it was a couple of things that I looked at on that. And one thing that I realised was, simplify your choices. Mm-hmm. So you get on top, you think, what can I go for? Don't think about it, just go, right, I only have one option, and work to your one option.
Right, okay.
If you limit yourself into that one option, you can work on that one option. When you've got that down, you go into your next option. And it's similar to that problem solving where I say my 5 roles with one person can actually be one role for me because I'm dealing with one problem.
Yeah.
It can be you're dealing with one sub at a time. And at our levels, just learning that one sub and getting that one sub sort of in the bank a bit so that you can then use it. So I like my top armbar where I go up in S mount, twist in, get that armbar while I'm still on top. I don't like to fall back in my armbars if I can help it. And that's the one that I worked on a lot. And I think I got that down quite well for, other white belts. But then it's like, okay, where do I go from now? What other options do I go for?
It's like the more often you roll, it comes in like your second nature. You don't even think, you just do it.
Yeah, you practice one thing enough, you'll be able to do it. Was it the Bruce Lee that said that, I don't fear the man that's practiced 1,000 kicks, I fear the man that's practiced one kick 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So it's, rather than looking at, I've got now a collection of 20 subs, which I might hit 1% of the time here, there and everywhere. Have a collection of 4 subs, which you might get 20 to 30% of the time.
See, I try many submissions and then I see which I like.
Yeah.
It's like...
I taste the menu.
Yeah. It's like... now I recently started doing wrist locks, which is like...
Oh, God.
Come on, it's awesome.
I know they're awesome.
It's awesome.
They are a cheat code.
And what I started now even doing, if I get to roll with maybe lighter or the person I can dominate a bit more...
Bully.
Bully. That's I just wanted to put it in friendly way, so I started slightly practicing my heavy knee on the belly.
Knee on belly. You have to though. It's as soon as you start getting comfortable in using certain positions, you can then experiment and spread out into other things. And it's one of the things that I think is very much key is getting your fundamentals down.
It's the same like we have, let's say if we're rolling with a higher belt, you literally feel like you're a dummy and he's just practicing on you.
And I think that's one of the things that I do see, especially in our club, is the higher belts really do appreciate the lower belts.
Yeah.
They see, we are practice dummies. As soon as we get a bit of skill in jiu-jitsu and knowing the basics, if we can frame, we can shrimp, we can do all that defensive stuff where we can actually put up a reasonable fight. They get the benefit of it because they've now got a training partner which they can bully, they can dominate us, but they've got to work for it.
Yeah.
And when they've got to work for it, they refine it. And
what they do, they don't smash you, which is really good.
Yeah.
Because if you roll with, let's say, some people and they are constantly gonna be smashing you, you're gonna just stop rolling with them.
Yeah. That's it. That's probably what I don't like about jiu-jitsu sometimes, is where when you're training, some people forget that training is training. They see each training role as a competition role. They're going out of the way just to absolutely smash. They've got the same game that they've used back then, all the time. They're not looking to actually develop the skill. And you know what? That's up to them. They're paying their subs. They're turning up. They get to do what they want to do. But for me, I want to get better in knowing as much as I can, refining what I know, and just developing the abilities more that I've got and increasing my options in it.
Plus, then another thing is, if you, let's say, roll and always try to get into submission, that more likely you're gonna go 100%.
Yeah.
So that means you're more likely gonna get damage yourself.
Yeah, or the other person.
Yes, or other person.
Yeah.
So the best thing is you wanna do long term, not like a short term. So for example, me, if I'll try like more like 100% rolling with someone strong, I can do maybe once a week. I can't do it every day.
No, it takes a lot out of you. People.
Yeah.
It's a roll is probably the best cardio that you're ever gonna do.
Yeah.
It's like I can do before this. I could do 10k runs, and I'm like, I can comfortably run a 10k. Get on with the rest of my day. I do 10 rounds, and that's gonna be a heavy night. Who's doing 10 rounds? The next day I can barely get out of bed.
4 minutes no gi, that's it. It feels like your cardio gone.
Yeah, definitely. Especially at my age, there is no cardio after a.
And especially if you get on the person who is like a similar build or maybe a bit heavier and faster than you, that's where you're screwed.
Oh yeah, and that's the best and worst thing about our place. We have so many young guys who are absolute monsters, and some of them are big guys who are monsters. We got this, like, We got Big Lou, we got Jack.
Oh, now we have one guy. He's 19, and he's bigger than Jack.
Oh God.
And I think he's blue belt or something like that.
Can we just get like small people that I really like that do gi so I can just tie them up?
And basically, I roll with him. You can tell me how it's called. When I'm lie on the back, he steps in one leg in here, and I wrap my legs around. You know when you
so you got the single leg X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, I've done single leg X on him, yeah. So your top leg should be ending up on the hip.
Yeah.
So when I wrapped my legs was just reaching his knee.
Did you raise your arse up off the floor?
No.
That's why he couldn't reach his hips.
But it still is.
That's why we got bad jiu-jitsu. He's getting your hips up as well. You need to wrap that leg.
But it's still long legs.
Yeah. That's it. It's when you're doing the leg work on someone that's got really long legs. It can be really hard. I was talking about it the other day with Paolo, where if you've got a really long leg and you're going for a heel hook, sometimes if you're a short-bodied, short-legged guy, the foot can actually be right behind you, and you've got to try and reach back there, and then you're struggling with the knee line, and it's difficult, but it's one of the good things about jiu-jitsu as well, because it's not one size fits all.
Yeah.
So while that guy and your body shape might not work together for your body types matching, there'll be another thing that will work in your advantage with the body types, and it's gaining that enough knowledge. It's like I said before, the knowledge acquisition. If you can gain enough knowledge to actually then, adapt your game to the situation that you're in.
Oh, it's like, remember when I rolled? I know, yeah, I keep moving the microphone.
You're pointing your microphone at me.
I know, yeah.
You're not interviewing me.
Remember when I did my first competition, I tried, and in no-gi division, I had one guy, slim but very tall.
Yeah.
So I'm and him at the same height, and you're like, dude.
Yeah, you had your twin, didn't you?
I know that.
You had your absolute identical twin who was exactly like you in all ways, and then the next fight was someone that was something like 7 inches taller than you.
Yeah.
But still like stick thin.
Have you noticed, like in our gym, or mainly, in jiu-jitsu, as much as I've noticed, lots of people look very similar. It's like glasses, bald head, and beard.
Yeah. Especially after a certain age. I think once anyone that does jiu-jitsu after 30, you either look like an MMA fighter or you look like a big nerd.
Right, okay.
So I just think it's that way. So let's head up to carry on this conversation. We're 23 minutes in already. Fucking hell.
There you go.
Yeah. So next one. What moves have you seen online that are interesting to you at the moment that you're just looking at people doing?
So okay, I really was fascinated about the warm guard, and I know I'm not a flexible one, but for me it was because I was keep watching 10th Planet, and they keep using warm guard.
You mean rubber guard?
Oh, it's not.
No, the worm guard's in gi. Keenan Cornelius made it popular. It's where you get the lapel around the leg.
No. Where the Mikey does.
Rubber guard.
Rubber, right?
Yeah.
So rubber guard.
Yeah.
And.
This is why we're bad at jiu-jitsu.
I don't know their names.
No.
So I know what Mikey does.
Yeah.
So basically, he does the rubber guard.
Yeah.
So I was really like, I love it how he does it.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. But remember we practiced in a gi.
Yeah.
Like a K guard, like very similar to.
The gubber guard one where.
Gubber guard, yeah.
Where you use your lapel to lock your foot over the shoulder and.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. What I started doing, because when we were rolling in the gi, I started doing that, getting lapel around it, and the thing is, let's say yesterday I did that to Ronnie and to the guy who's got like a Canadian guy who's got like a lion tattoo on the back.
Matt.
His name Matt?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I didn't know his name.
Only been there a year, haven't you?
Yeah, only a year.
Yeah.
So basically, I did on them that guard.
Yeah.
And the thing why I was happy about it, because for 4 minutes both of them couldn't submit there. I just use all my strength, pull them in, and just hold it.
That's it. It's you've broken their posture.
Yeah.
And you've just taken their ability to move and have freedom out of it. And I think when you're dealing with, because both of them guys are blue belts, is when you're dealing with blue belts who are, you know, pretty good blue belts and they've got their skills, is if you can shut them down, that's where you're going to get your opportunities.
Plus, yesterday was the first time I survived all 4 minutes rolling with Ronnie without submission. So that was like, wow, achievement for me.
You know, as soon as this goes out, he's going to punish you.
I know.
Yeah.
He's going to step on me.
Yeah, he will crush you like a rock. He'll go full caveman on you.
But I was happy about it.
So you're into the gubba guard at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of... I think it was something that I sent to you
For me, it feels very defensive, and you can feel more safer.
Yeah. You can break that posture down, but you can still attack a bit from it. So you got a bit of because the way the lapel is, you've got that control around the neck still, haven't you?
Yeah, because I can move the arm once they lift the chin up.
Yeah. And that's it. Once you get that neck, you're good. So I think for me, what I've seen before I got my injury and I can't do anything, I was looking at some, like, I think it was like a star sweep, and it was basically when someone's in your guard, you kind of bring your hips up, do a backwards roll while still holding their leg, and you're rolled onto the outside of their leg, and you can lift that leg up, and then it's more like a single leg takedown from that point. So it's part of that thing of, you know, me going a bit more into the wrestle up game.
Yeah.
Because I like to sit down, I pull guard, so I think I'm going into that pull guard, wrestle up, take them back down, and then I've got that dominant position. And
because we have like mixed classes, you have gi.
Yeah.
What do you like? You know, like your game is different with when you're comparing to no-gi. For me, what I've noticed when you do on no-gi, octopus guard works.
Yeah.
The one we trained.
Yeah.
Before you went on holiday.
Yeah. Octopus guard is a great little tool. I think it's probably one of the ones where if people leave that space, go for that space, and then you can start changing that dynamic of that role.
What I've noticed, you can go from anywhere there.
Yeah.
Into like from half guard, full guard, even from the mount I've tried.
Yeah. And I think Steve touched on it. He touches on it all the time, and it's about getting them angles.
Yeah.
Because when you're two bodies straight on each other, especially if you're defensive, if a straight body's on you, then lines are straight, you're going to have a rough time as a defensive person. But if you're playing defensively and you can change that angle, that's where you're limiting their options to attack. And that's where you then move into the space that the angle creates.
It's like this week Steve was on the gi classes Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
He was teaching us basics, like basic moves, how to, you know.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, all the guys who's doing gi on Tuesday and Thursday who came in to do it, we were so shit at that, like really bad at that, and that's like a basic move.
Yeah.
And even that, when you lie down on your back and you put like one leg through, like needle.
Oh, threading the needle.
Threading the needle. None of us could do it properly. And I was like, this is the basic, and I'm here for a year already.
So what you're doing is you're bridging up, and you're bringing one leg under to switch your hips. To get onto your front.
Yeah.
And then It's there's certain just how to move people. It's one of the things where if you're teaching it, you don't want to teach it too soon, I don't think, in jiu-jitsu, because people get bored. It's like, because when people sign up to do jiu-jitsu, they want to fight, they want to scrap, they want to do the rolls.
Well, yeah.
And if you do a lesson to someone that is relatively new at jiu-jitsu, and they're going, I want to learn how to do this sub, I want to learn how to do this, I want to do this, and you're saying, I'm going to teach you how to switch your hips to go from your back to your belly.
And that sounds super boring. The way
exactly. So you've got to sort of have some buy-in from the people that you're training. So I understand why Steve doesn't go, we're doing this straight away, because you're just going to switch people off. Some of the things that Steve does when he does his training, like, so on the beginner's course, the first thing that he teaches is the guillotine. And it's great. Because the way you teach someone the guillotine, and people drop out straight away. And it's good, because what you're basically saying to people is, This entire sport is about you getting choked. And if you can't stand being choked on your first day, the door is there.
I know.
And it's a filter, and it's brutal because you have to strangle someone to get them out the door if it's not for them. But it's best to do it then at that point rather than down the way when they've sort of invested, they've sort of started putting a bit of money into it, and then they realise, I don't like getting strangled.
Yeah. What I started doing when I'm rolling with higher belts, and I know, or the person I know they're gonna smash me, I started saying to them, like, on purpose, like, I'll go easy on you, don't worry today, you know, like
trying to trap them.
Yeah.
Sometimes
they're like, oh, I don't want to roll, I'm too tired. I was like, don't worry, I'll go easy on you.
That's my trick. It's like, I'm going light today, guys, and just smash them.
Yeah.
It's like I can't go. It's like I'll strategize. That's it. It's
like yesterday when we rolled with Matt, I said to him, because we took top part of the gi off.
Oh yeah, jacket.
And we're like, okay, let's do no gi. He's like, okay, but no gripping pad. He's like, okay. As soon as we start rolling, I sweep him gripping your pants.
You got to cheat a bit. If there's something to grip it. That's it.
And he's like, that was an agreement.
You're gonna get a reputation for yourself, Martin.
I know.
Breaking rules. So that was what the tech was this week for yourself, because I didn't do any tech. So it was just the movements. I thought I saw you did the thread and the needle, didn't you? And he was sit throughs as well.
Yes. Yeah.
You're doing the sit through from when they've kind of like that, when they're wrestling, they've got that grip on you.
Yeah, because when you're in the turtle, when they're wrapping one hand and one and the neck, from there you like.
Yeah, a bit like if you've sprawled on them when they've gone for a takedown.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
And if you do it correctly, you can take them back.
Yeah, that sit through. You can then roll around.
Keep
your shoulder to them.
So that's what we're practicing.
Yeah, it's a good one to sit through. It works a lot of the times, and a lot of people don't realise it does work. I think people overlook it because the thing is, you see a lot of people when they're in that position, they just get on the knees, and both players stay on the knees, and doing the hand fighting on the neck and stuff is like, you can hear it all the time, especially when you look at the comps where Steve's in the comps and he's coaching guys, and a position like that, and he's there going, get on your feet, because he knows as soon as you're on your feet, you've changed that balance, which means once you go for that sit through, all that happens to them is they drop weight. Mm-hmm. So you're pushing them up, they're trying to push you down, you've gone out the side, you've changed the angle, like I said before. See,
before I never understood why when I rolled with some people, and Steve always says, try to stand up. And I was like, why? Yeah. But now when I started practicing that, because it's like even you can like push them and run away.
Yeah. But you can if you're in a bad position, you can stand up, you can reset that roll, you can reset the engagement, and I think that's what he always pushes for as well. If you can have an engagement on your terms, it's always going to be a better outcome for you. And it's like, if you can have a roll on your terms, it's, and sometimes you choose a roll and put yourself in a bad position, but you're still rolling on your terms, and you'll enter that roll even confidently if you're in a bad position. So it's an interesting one to do. Was there no other tech, no subs, or was it just...
To be honest, my memory is like a 5 minutes length, so usually if we do training, I just usually forget. So it's like, because we did Tuesday and Thursday, we did exactly the same movement. I remember that. But for example, what we did on Monday and Wednesday on no-gi, I don't remember.
I think that's just scrapping for most of it, for most people, isn't it? But we had a couple of, I think last week was a good one with the, how to shut down the hip bump sweep.
Oh, yeah. That actually works when you wrap the arm around it.
Yeah.
But somehow on Wednesday I did that and managed to submit the person, which was very strange for me.
What, submitting someone?
So basically, I was, I know that part was really strange. But what I did, I tried to do the hip bump sweep. That didn't work. So I wrapped my hand around the leg, around the neck, and then pushed it through the arm.
Yeah.
And instead of doing something more, I gripped both arms together, and I just yanked it, just literally as much as I had power. I just yanked it into those arms, and he tapped because I was pulling his shoulder.
If it works, it works.
I know. And I was like, oh, he tapped.
Then you did your dance on him, give him a tea bag, and
yeah,
away you go.
Because I was surprised. I was like, oh, okay, wait.
Oh, bloody hell, Martin.
I think after the podcast, once it's gonna start going through, I'm gonna get smashed.
Oh yeah. You're definitely. I've got a bit of a free pass now for a few weeks, but you're getting fucked up.
Yeah, I know that. I know that for sure.
You're gonna make a name for yourself. I don't think anyone's actually gonna listen to it, but it's just us rambling. Anyway, I think we'll go on to the next bit that we can go on to is what's happening in the world of jiu-jitsu right now.
Right. Okay. So you tell me more.
We've had a bit of history going on for the past few months. We had the CJI, we had ADCCs, but the most recent one that we've had, I think, is the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 8, which happened last week. And the main event was Nicky Rod versus Michael Pixley.
Right.
And Nicky Rod recently just got his black belt. Michael Pixley, I believe, is still a purple belt. But Michael Pixley was the big upset at ADCCs.
Right.
He actually beat Nicholas Marigali, who's a world champion.
And he's a black belt.
And he's a black belt.
Right.
And in that fight that they had, Nicholas Marigali fucked his shoulder up. He broke his shoulder. Pretty much, basically what happened was Pixley was going for a good takedown.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He's been chasing them all fight in the ADCCs. He's been chasing Marigali around, going for these takedowns, and he gets the takedown. It's that one that Big Lou likes to do, where you can't wheel people over a bit.
Yeah.
And I think we went through it as well
when
we went in that gi. And when we were going through it, we were making sure we were grabbing the other person's hand because we said that they could land on the hand.
Yeah,
that's how injuries happened. Pixley, being in competition, he has no care about his hand. Doesn't grab the hand, just goes for the sweep. Nicholas Marigali puts his hand down, pops his shoulder.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And, so the fight that happened last week was Nicky Rod, the $1 million grappler who won CGI, got his $1 million, and he's gone into the UFC Invitational and has a scrap with Michael Pixley. Again, Nicky Rod just does his thing, and he does this, and he ended up getting a rear naked choke with it.
Yeah.
But it was quite a good fight. There was a bit of back and forth on the feet, pushing, going this and that. Went out of bounds a couple of times, which again, people are seeing the issue now with grappling, where people have been on their feet and they go out. And luckily, in a big event hall like that, to go out, they might land on a cameraman. But we're seeing it around here and everywhere. CGI seems to have sorted it, but when the fight got reset and they started actually doing it, grappling on the floor, Nicky Rod just did his thing. He just pulls his guard, wrestles up, body lock pass, goes to the back, rear naked choke.
So you won.
And he won. Obviously he won. Nicky Rod is probably the best grappler in the world at the moment. He's called out Gordon Ryan at the CGI.
Really?
And
he did.
And Gordon Ryan's at ADCC getting himself injured, but it's can anyone actually compete with Nicky Rod at the moment? Nicky Rod is just this next level grappler.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nicky Rod would beat Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, I think technically it's a difficult match. I've had discussions with Steve, our coach at the club, and one of the things, and a couple of other people, and usually what you find is at that high elite level, they're very much match skill for skill.
Right.
And what are you doing when they're rolling, when they're fighting?
Who does mistake?
Yeah, it's about who makes the mistake first, and who can force the mistake. You'll find it yourself when you roll with a higher belt.
Yeah.
They can force you into a mistake.
Oh yeah.
You think, I'm not making that mistake. I'm not doing this gap. I'm not doing this. And then all of a sudden, they'll twist you, they'll tweak you, and then you'll go in and move. And as you do that move, you've made your mistake.
What happens when you roll with Steve? He literally guides you.
Yeah.
For you to help him to set it up for nasty submission.
Yeah, he'll just twist your leg and your hips go one way, and then as you're going that way, you're trying to fight it, and it's you wake up.
And he's there waiting for you.
Giving you the dirtiest, horriblest hug to strangle you, or with a knee on belly, or what he does to me, he just gets my arm pinned across. I'm there trying to hold a frame, low frame, and he just shifts his hips, moves my arm across, and he's just pinned my arm across me. And it's just absolutely miserable because I'm now down to just one arm to try and defend.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things where, again, he's forcing mistakes, but at high level, it's harder to force the mistakes. They have to come organically. And what you'll see is, with Nicky Rod and the Michael Pixley is a great grappler. He is a purple belt grappler, and he's not got the experience that Nicky Rod has in competition.
Yeah.
So when it comes to making mistakes, he's going to make the most, and that's why he got his back taken. He put a great fight out there, but when it comes down to Nicky Rod versus Gordon Ryan, it's going to be a hard one. If Gordon Ryan plays very defensively, will he make mistakes?
See, the thing is about Gordon Ryan and Nicky Rod, I would love to see their match, but only under CGI rules.
Yeah, they've had other ones before where I think they've done ADCC type rules. I think they may have even done an EBI fight, which is the Eddie Bravo Invitational.
Yeah, CGI rules like more simple, like very I don't know, less complicated.
Yeah. You just got your 3 rounds. You've got your alley that you're fighting with the walls on it, and you've just got the point system, which is very transparent. Where if you're going into the third fight and you're 2 rounds down, you've got a sub.
Yeah,
and it's a great system.
And plus, who won each round from jury.
Yeah, and it's a good system. That it's like but I do think that
and plus we still need that wall on Steve's. in the attic.
We have to wait until he goes on holiday before we can put a wall up. But he's been redecorating. He might not appreciate it.
Okay.
We'll have to put if we can get say an Ikigai or a Henshall on it and maybe a skull on it, I think he'll like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So we need to make it that he would like it.
Yeah. We basically have to build it and set it up to make it look like he's done it, but he's forgot. And that way we can get away with it.
I mean, if it's gonna be exactly in the same color, he might not even notice.
Yeah. The thing is, he's getting the canvas down, so we'll have to get it covered in the vinyl.
So I was thinking, what if we sneaky would do before canvas comes?
What, build it up and then he'll just not notice it and the vinyl goes over it?
Do you know when he's planning to do that canvas?
I think he's got the canvas in the gym at the moment at the club, hasn't he?
It's been there for I don't know,
a week and a half.
A week, yeah, something like that.
I think as soon as he gets that one of the guys to fit it, then it's in. But it'll change the dynamic of roles a bit because a bit more grippy and.
So what is it gonna do to us? Is it gonna be a better?
Yeah. So the vinyl canvas, you'll find it's rubberized vinyl canvas.
So it's gonna be less slippery.
Less slippery, more grip.
Right. Okay.
It might get a bit more mat burn, but that'll be fine. You just take that up.
Because now you get
soft.
After 3-4 rolls, it's like ice skating on the sweat.
Yeah. Especially in the summer. Woo.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's once he gets that fitted, that'll be a bit of a nice little revamp that he's doing. But the vinyls are always good, and
Plus, I'm assuming it's gonna be easier to clean it. Then won't gonna be bacteria more holding up.
Oh yeah. Steve keeps that place clean anyway. His mum comes in all the time. And
I know that.
But yeah, it's easier to do, and it becomes a 5-minute job to clean when it's a vinyl mat.
Yeah.
There's no nooks and crannies in it like with any of the texturized mats or anything like that. It just sweep down it. There you go. And that'll be a good little change. That'll happen.
That's gonna be fun.
But yeah, it was an interesting one. And speaking of mats, it's one of the things that came up with a discussion I had with saw online with regards to why did Merigali get his injury?
Yeah.
And one of the ideas on that was are people practicing break falls still? So a lot of people don't break fall properly and train break falls or even practice.
Oh, you mean break falls when you do on judo?
Yeah.
I don't know them.
No, a lot of people don't, and I think it's because the high quality of the mats that we have.
Yeah.
Is why some people forget to just teach themselves how to break fall or just practice the basic break falls such as house fall.
I know Kenny was showing how to do it because he did judo before. He mentioned. Yeah.
But it's not too bad. Anyway, we've been doing this for 45 minutes now.
And you said we'll see if we have time to talk.
We'll see if we have time. So I think what we'll do is we'll call this now.
Okay.
And then we can,
Yeah.
meet again. Have our second episode.
Yeah, we can do more often.
Yeah. The Bad Jiu-jitsu Podcast.
Yeah,
it's been a great chat.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks you. And if anyone's listening and they want to just subscribe to us, feel free to do so. And really appreciate it. And we'll hopefully see you
And
next
don't
time.
smash me, please.
If anyone does want to come to Henshall's and they hear some laughing and they want to smash someone, it might not be there.
Yeah, I'm glad to help.
But this is the Bad Jiu-jitsu Podcast. We are bad at jiu-jitsu,
Oh, yeah, terrible.
but we'll keep on trying.
And we're still happy.
Anyway, have a good night and see you later.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.